Hopefully this is working. Hello, hello. Just trying to make sure my settings are good. Oh, I can hear something. Just trying to. Okay, I was getting a weird notification about my settings, so hopefully everything's going to be okay. And hopefully we'll get a few people joining us today. So hi everybody, hope you're having a great day. Let me know where you're joining from, and just drop a note just to say hi that you're here. Today I'm going to make some artist trading cards. So I have signed up for the Elizabeth Craft Designs Banff retreat. Very excited to go for my first time, and of course I needed to make sure that I have a good stash of artist trading cards to bring with me. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to work away on those today. So we're going to test out my live and hope that it goes better than the last couple of times. For some reason everything got really fuzzy, blurry, was freezing. So hopefully that's not going to happen today. Not that I've done anything different, but I have no idea why it did that. So anyway, we're going to give it a go. So I will go ahead and flip the camera around and show you what I've got on my desk. So here we go. So I am going to, as I said, make some artist trading cards. So I went through my stash. I had a bunch of things. I always have a bunch of things that are cut out that I haven't used in projects. So I pulled out a bunch of those. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of things to make for ATC cards. So hopefully we'll get through them all. Probably should be able to, because I got some prep done. So no more than an hour. But I just thought I'd show you my lovely ATC box. I did post pictures of it previously, but I thought it might be fun to share it. I think I might have shown it before, but I don't really remember. So I had a lot of fun decorating this, adding papers to it. And then I have this funky glass gel medium. It's got little bits of glass in it. So I added that, and then I added some gold heat embossing powder on it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, so there it is. Got every side of it decorated. I put a little label on the inside, and then I've got some of my cards in here. So I've got ones that people have traded with me, and then I've got all of my top 10 movies that I had done with the new movie night collection. Make sure I say that right. And then I've got a few that I did last week. And then we're going to add to this box so that we're going to fill it up. So I've got lots of cards for Banff. So I see I've got some eyeballs on there. So drop a note, say hi, let me know where you're joining from. And we're going to get going and get these cards assembled. So I'm going to start with this one here. So I had done previously excuse me, during a live, it was over a year ago. If you search the Elizabeth Craft Designs page, you'll see embossing ATCs with dies. So that's what I did. So I used these fancy cutaways. So these are from Annette. Annette Green as part of the Everyday Elements collection. And I love them. They're the perfect size because they are ATC size. So I wanted to play around with those. And so I had done some embossing with them. So you can watch that video to see how I created these. But now, instead of just putting this directly on, I'm going to cut it out and put it on top of my base. So I've got my die cutting machine here, and I've got my, here it is, my movie night special. I haven't labeled that yet. I'll have to drop a label on there. And so I'm going to cut it with this one here. So I've already cut my base, and now I'm going to cut this fancy piece. I had put some like pixie dust stuff, not sure what one it was called, on there. So this is a magnetic plate that I picked up somewhere. It was on a garage sale or something. And so I found some plates that work with this. So I'm just going to run this through my machine. I'm not seeing any comments. Let me just flip this around. I know that I often have a hard time there. See, I see Debbie is here from South Georgia. Thanks for popping on, Debbie. Hope you enjoy watching me make some ATCs. Okay, so let's just set this out of the way. So that's all done. So now I have this fun piece. Let's clean up. Get those out of the way. Okay, and we can get this out of the way too now. Okay, so that is going to go on here. And if you turn it, you can see that it lines up beautifully like that. So I'm going to flip it this way. So I just picked some pink cardstock out of my stash that I thought went nicely with this. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue this directly down. So fairly simple cards today. And really my goal is just to use up some of the stuff that I had in my stash already. So I have only cut, I think, a couple of bases. And that's the only thing that I actually cut ahead of time. Everything else I already had prepared. So ATCs are a great way to use up the bits and pieces that you have in your stash. Oh, Debbie, you've got ATCs too? You like to do those. That's great. They are fun. I had never done them either before the Elizabeth Craft collection. So it was very new to me. But yeah, they're fun. They can be more complicated, but they can also be very simple. I always struggle. Most of mine are fairly simple because I don't like to cover things up and layer. I want you to be able to see everything. So basically that's what I'm doing this time. So I had this one already cut out. So all of the die cuts are on the US Elizabeth Craft site. I made sure they're still available, with the exception of one thing, which was torn. My favorite die set is definitely torn, and it looks like it's sold out. But if it's sold out, that means a lot of people have it in their stash already. So I'm going to attach this on there and just trim it off. So I just need to kind of decide. I like that there's the mix of colors on the background, so I don't want to cover all of that up. I want that to still be visible, and then I've got some words that I'm going to add on here after I do that. So I feel like just simply like that is going to be good. Now I'm going to try something. This may or may not work. Oh, it may not, because I can see that it's open again. I've created this glue sponge thing that a friend of mine told me about, so I thought I'd try it. I haven't been having a lot of luck with it, but I did put more glue in here. But yeah, I may not have done it. I think, anyway, it wasn't working. It wasn't soaking in, so I added some water to it. But now you can see it's very watery. So I have a feeling this isn't going to work very good. But that was my solution to, instead of having to put my adhesive, see, it's not even sticking, so maybe it's not going to work. Oh my goodness, I don't think it's going to work. I might have to add glue to it after all. Anyway, it was an experiment to see if I could get this to work. No, it's not working. Oh well. It was worth a try. Maybe one day I'll get it sorted out. I know my girlfriend, she has one and it works, so I just didn't get it set up properly. So it's okay. I will just do this. It just takes longer. And of course, since the comments aren't working on my iPad, I have to turn my head if I want to see your comments. So I have to get this stuck down first. There. And then flip that over. Okay, so that hopefully is stuck down properly now. And then I can just trim this off. So let's trim off this longer side first. So I had actually considered attaching this to the matte layer first and then running it through the die cutting machine, but I changed my mind because I like when it overlaps onto the border, right? I like that look. So that was kind of what I wanted to achieve. So I can put that one away and use it another time. Whoops. That one's going to be a little bit harder to trim. I think I need a bit of glue under here. Just to make sure when I cut this that these pieces don't start to come apart. I don't think I put any adhesive on that piece. Hey Nance, thanks for popping on. My comments aren't working on my iPad. I might pull out of there and load it back up again and see if I can get them going so that I don't have to keep turning my head away. Now that is getting in my way. Get out of there. Focus to get this cut nicely. That one's a little bit hard with it being in. Oh, I hope I was on camera. I don't know about you, but when I trim and cut things, I tend to pull it very close to my chest so I can see better. And then I forgot when I'm on camera to make sure that you can see. Okay, so there we go. And then I have 2 sentiments cut out. So I'm not going to use these sentiments as they are. So the great thing about these journal phrases is you can just cut them apart and use the individual words, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to trim off this blue line so that it doesn't even look like it was part of another word, and that was very crooked. That's okay. And I'm going to trim off beautiful. So it's going to say hello, beautiful. So there's so many different words on these journal phrases stamps. You can make up so many different sayings. So even if you don't necessarily like some of the ones the way they are, just do this, trim them up, make your own sayings. Okay. So because I trimmed off the border, and that looks fairly plain, I'm going to stick them onto the same colored cardstock here, and then trim around them again. Tweezers so I can pick that up. There we go. So I'm going to put it close to the edge here. And when I'm doing this, oh, a bulletin board just fell. It was stuck. Oh well, it's okay. Probably heard that crash. I think I stopped mid-sentence, but I'm not sure. Oh, I don't worry about my lines being straight too much because that just gives it the character, right? Is the fact that you can see that it's hand cut. At least that's what I think. So one, it makes it easier not to have to worry about it being perfect, and 2, I think it adds more character to it when it is a little bit wonky. Okay, so there's one. See, that looks much better than when it was just by itself. And there we go. So very simple. Oh, this filigree flower die. Debbie. Yes, it is very beautiful. I've used it a fair bit. It's great for putting on your journal pages. It's great for layering for backgrounds, and it's good for cutting it up. And it has nice little punch outs. When they punch out, they kind of look like hearts. So you don't have to throw them away, you can keep them. A little bit of glue getting on the front of that. Come on. There. So very simple, very basic. I feel like maybe a couple of gems or something might be nice on there. We'll see, maybe at the end. But that's one done already. Okay, a little drink. And I'll pull out the next one. Okay, so the Just Right stamp and die set. I had these in my stash already, so I did stamp this one and cut it out. It has the matching die with it. And then this is another one of the embossed pieces using the die. And then I just cut out the matching base and some craft cardstock. So I have inked this one with a dark brown ink distressed it. And then I used a lighter color for these. So again, just fairly straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the base. Oh look, I just saw a comment pop up on my iPad. And then it disappears. Come on, come back. Oh look, there they are. Now they're there. That's so weird. Oh, nice. Debbie's just commenting that she used it cut apart on some tags. Okay, so so again, make sure it should be lined up properly already. A little bit off there, off center. Okay, there we go. And then I think I will put a little bit of foam tape on this one. Reach over and grab it. This is a thinner foam tape. I like this one for things that I don't want a lot of depth to, but I want a little bit of depth. So it just gives me just a little bit. And then before I stick this down, I have to remember I pulled out some, oh, my words are gonna lose, I'm gonna lose my words. Some of this stuff. Oh. Yep, totally gapped what this is called. Kitchen stuff. Anyway, I pulled this out because I thought it might look nice in behind. I might not be able to cut it with these scissors though. These scissors are very dull. And I think I have another pair and I just am too, I don't know, forgetful to pull the other pair out. Had this, I knew what it was called when I was pulling it out, and I was like, where is that? Because I always put it away and then I can never find it. Okay, sorry, I'm just unbunching it, but I am going to bunch it up. Maybe I will fold it over and cut it again. There, I like the rough edges. Something like this. How's that gonna look? Yeah, I just wanted a little bit more. Again, like I don't like to cover up when I make pretty backgrounds. I hate to cover them up. Cheesecloth. It's cheesecloth. That's what it is. So the cheesecloth doesn't really cover it up. You can still see through it. So I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on this one just so that it holds that cheesecloth down a little bit better. because it's got a little bit of a thickness to get through there. Okay. And then, I don't know, I just thought I'd kind of play around with these. Something kind of random. Something like that. How does that look? So I don't think I'm going to bother with foam tape on these pieces, because they're going to be popped up at the top here. So that still gives them some dimension, but not a ton. I see a few more eyeballs there. Oh, I see Rebecca's here. I guess there's a delay in them coming up on the iPad maybe. Thanks for popping on, Rebecca. We're gonna go like that. Put those ones pointing at the same spot. Should I not put any glue on there? It's just not working. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. And then one thing that I recommend, if you do have one of the stamps for the back of your ATC cards, I recommend that you either stamp it before you start or you stamp on another piece of cardstock, because when you do have it decorated, like this one doesn't have foam tape, but still stamping on this is going to be hard because there is a dimension there, right? So you won't get as crisp an image. So I had these already stamped previously, so I'll just put them on the back once I'm finished. But yes, I've forgotten before, and then I went to stamp on it and it doesn't work very well. And we'll try to do that. There. So again, pretty simple, but that's done. So see this, even though this isn't the matching one, like it doesn't match, it still fits on there okay. So I can add that on there after. Okay, so let's pull out another one. So this one here, this time the base is cut using one of the other ATC sets. So I already had this cut. It basically is just a square. It might be from Torn, that actual die, but I know that Torn is sold out. So you could just cut a square. And then this was just a scrap piece that I had left over from one of the pages from one of the journal sets recently. Anyway, one of the recent ones. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a neat little piece I should add. And then I think this is laced. Again, all of these are still on, other than Torn, are still on the website in the US. So I am going to ink distress this before I use it though. Just got to find the right things. So because it's very detailed, I'm going to use my brush and just give it a quick kind of once over. The cardstock has a white core, so I don't want white to show through for sure. And then this just kind of picks up my edges a little bit and gives it a little bit more depth. So it doesn't like really change the color drastically. I think that's enough. If I kept going, I would definitely, it would darken it up if I wanted to do that. So my thinking was just kind of like this. And then I've got, I've got a little flower. So maybe I'll move it right over to the edge. But I want to do something to that plant so that it shows up better. So another one that I need to add glue to. So I'm just gonna try this. I saw David doing something like this the other day. Like, let's see if this works. I know that Elle's always just does this kind of a thing with the tube of glue that she uses. It's definitely faster. It's not coming out very fast out of there. It just dries very quickly too, right? So the thinner you have this, the faster it's gonna dry on you. Very sticky. Okay, so we're gonna put it about there. Do this. Get that glue off of my fingers so that I can touch everything again. At least it cleans up pretty easy. Uh-oh. Left it too long. There we go. Okay, that seems to be okay. Now I can just trim that up. So that's why you don't throw away those little pieces, right? Obviously I'd trim that to use it, a part of it, and same with this. This was a cutoff. But they still make great little additions. I'm just gonna, how do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do it that way. So I know that it was pretty much from one dot to the next. That's the little stitched piece, right? Oh, definitely put too much on that, but that's okay. Okay. Just line that hole up so that it's on the paper. There we go. Always good to keep scrap piece of paper around. Probably got glue on here now, but it comes off of that easily too. So no worries. Oh, I'm not on there very straight, am I? Look at that. Oh, it did move. I was able to move it. Good. Trim it up. Oh no, it moved back. Oops, this way. Oh, this was that's from the coffee dyed paper, just in case you were wondering. It's one of the cut aparts. Well, they were kind of cut aparts in that one. Okay, so I've got a pot for my plant, I've got the hanger, and then I've got my plant. But like I said, I wanted to do something to this plant so that it stands out a little bit better, because it does kind of just disappear into that brown. So I didn't really plan out what I was going to do with it, but I'm thinking embossing powder. So let me just grab that. Ooh, get my crazy tray here. See if I can find something that might make that pop out. That's really bright. What have I got? Oh, I still want it to look like a plant though, so I don't really want to change the color of it. I don't really have a green. I have lots of blues. I don't know, let's try that because it is green. Okay, so I need to get my embossing ink, which I've moved. Come on, it's stuck. There it is. I was worried there for a minute that I had lost it. Okay, I need a piece of paper that doesn't have glue on it. And this, whoops, little scrap stuck on there. Okay, so let's get these stuck down. Make sure they're covered nicely. Don't really need to worry about that little piece there because it's going to be under the pot. Okay. Looks like it's covered good. Sure. Whoa. Oh, dump it all out. Okay, that looks like it's covered nicely. Get that closed up so I don't spill it. And get my heat tool, which I haven't plugged in. Okay, come on. Okay. Now I just gotta heat that up so we can melt this. Just starting from the back, I just don't want to blow it all away. I find this one tends to blow the powder off sometimes. Oh, it's still pretty dark. I guess because this is a bit translucent, right? Huh. It's interesting. Can you see? It's kind of different. Let's see. It definitely helps it to stand out more. I'm just debating if I should put another coat on. It's very, like it's not solid, which I'm okay with. No, I think I'm going to leave it. I melted it all? I think so. I think I'm going to leave it because it is not solid and I kind of like that. It's more realistic that way. Okay, so you may have noticed that I had this kind of weaved in here. So I do like to do that with this because again, it just looks more realistic, but I'm going to stick the pot on first. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue on that little piece there and then stick the pot down. So I think I've done this a couple of ways. I've done it with it attached and I've done it without it attached. I think it's easier with it attached. Okay, so I'm just gonna, starting with it at the back, I'm gonna feed that piece through. And let's hope, I definitely could get the other side through before I attach the pot. So now, just a little fiddly, get that, come on, get that piece in there. There we go. I just gotta feed this other branch in there. Come on. There we go. But I want, oops, I want that one in behind. That one out front. Come on. Go where I want you. There we go. And then your pot, you want to pull that down so it should be sitting on this bottom knot there, like that. There. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue on there just to hold it in place because then I'll glue the back. So we'll just put a little bit on there. And that will hold it in place. Oh, what is this computer doing? No, go away. Is my image getting fuzzy? Because it just popped up with some sort of weird notice there. So I'm gonna have to figure out what that is about. Okay, so now that's assembled and ready to go. so now I can add adhesive, put some glue on all of that. So once I've got this on, I don't have to worry about it coming apart from the different pieces, right? And then that's going to sit right there. Just give that a nice little rub there. Make sure it sticks down. Am I moving my camera around while I'm doing that? There. See, so that looks a lot better. That really stands out better now. And then I cut, this is from the movie night, this little piece here. Well, I had them cut. They were already sitting there. And then I have this one. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fit if I cut this in half. And I'm going to cut the border off. I'm going to cut it fairly tight to the text. I'm pretty sure, hopefully it's going to fit on these little film strips. I just thought that was kind of a neat little piece. So let's see. Look at that. It's like exactly. So this one might be a bit short, so I might need to trim that down a little. And okay, so let's see. If I go like this, I don't want it to be the exact same, so I want it to go like this. And then I can trim that up, no problem. Okay. So let's get some adhesive on here. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it on the card yet, but we'll figure that out. To move that end up, because I think I might need to trim just a teeny tiny bit. I really like that. I really like that a lot. If I could just get it to sit in the right spot. I am not seeing any comments, so I really hope that I'm not missing them. They're not coming up anywhere for me now. What if I close that? All that? Yeah. So anyway, if there are comments, I will definitely respond to them after the video. So definitely, if you had any questions, I will make sure and get you a response. Okay. There we go. Look at that. I am going to do this more often. I really like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to round this a little bit, cut right up tight, and then round it again up here. Not perfectly round. There we go. There, look at that. Oh, I really like that. Now I got to make sure it fits on here. There, so I'm gonna go like that, definitely like that. Okay, so I'm gonna line up this side with the edge. Nice straight, I think so. And I just realized I didn't trim that one bit of white off at the end. There we go. It feels like it needs more. And then I'm going to line up this side. There. Oh, I really like the way that turned out. Definitely like that one. Okay, so that's 3. Let's see if I can quickly put together 2 more. So same thing. I just used a different die from the same set. So from the movie night, and this time I used these 2. So I mentioned at the beginning, these ones, they were made with the fancy cutaways. And I made them during a live. If you go to the Elizabeth Crafts YouTube page, search embossing ATCs with dies, and you will find that video where I did these. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them stuck down. I think I'm going to need to put a little bit of liquid on the edges of that. Make sure my corners aren't going to come up. These little bits. And make sure I should be lined up the right way. I think that's the way that I had it, right? Yeah. Yeah, so that lines up very nicely, but move it over a little bit. There we go. Oops, that one's all bent over. There we go. Okay. Get that one on. I'm still the right way, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay, I'm just gonna jump out of here on Facebook and see if I go in again, if it will fix my comments. Unless you're all being really quiet, because I see that there's still eyeballs, but definitely am not seeing comments. Okay, so what have we got here? I've got this one. I really love this one. So this one I actually ripped, right? It had a bit of a border all the way around, and I just ripped it all because I wanted this unevenness. So I'm going to go ahead and yet again see if I can get enough to get this done quickly. No, that's not the way to do it for sure. Scraping it is not a good idea because I'm getting glue on the front of it doing that. Okay. Not sure if that's enough or not, but we're going to go with it. Flip it over, get some pressure on there. Getting the glue off of my fingers. Trying to get the glue off of my fingers. Okay, and then just trim this up. Might have to put a little bit of glue under those ends. They're not covered properly. Just make sure they stay down. There we go. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of a funky little thing. And then I still have this cheesecloth. So I think I'm going to use some more of that. Really should have grabbed my better scissors. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Oh, thanks, Nance. Yes, okay. You're just quiet. That's fine. I don't have a problem with you being quiet. As long as I just don't like thinking I might have missed something. Because I always struggle with the comments. Okay. That's a very straight line. I don't like that. I think it's folded though. I think that's why it's straight. It's stuck together somewhere here. But maybe it's okay. Do I want to put it on both? I don't know if I want to put it on that one. So this one I was just going to keep pretty simple. Yeah, that's all. I don't think they need to be overly complicated, and like I said, I don't like to cover up when you've made a pretty background. You want to show it off, right? So you don't want to go and cover it all up. Okay, is that enough to get through that cheesecloth? Let's hope. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go like that. and like that, and we'll see if this works. Get some pressure on that. Glue still coming off of my fingers. There, that worked. And then I'm just going to add the words. So again, I'm going to cut them apart. I'm going to cut off the border. Now these ones I'm more cutting on the border because I'm going to ink them. So that border will blend in. Oh, was I gonna, just thinking, was I gonna change up some of the words? Because I did have some other words out, but I don't know where they went. Maybe I put them away when I was organizing it. Okay, that's for one. I feel like that might need a heart. What do you think? Should it have a heart when it says all things grow with love? I gotta get some of this glue off of my fingers. Like I'm in kindergarten peeling glue off my fingers. Okay, so we'll get these ones. This is what I need. I was going to show you with these backgrounds with that dye. See how there's the holes in there? And you can see, hopefully you can see that I have inked those. So I was going to show you what I used to do that with. This little guy. It's from, I think it's from Hunky Dory. I've showed them before, but they're a great little tool. You can get them right inside. They got a tiny little bit of something on the end, foam, and it allows you to get in those tiny little spots. So they're fantastic. And you know, you can use it for quite a while. Eventually the tip will wear off and kind of fall off, but it works for quite a while. I don't remember the order this was in, but it doesn't really matter. There, so we're going to do that. I think I'm going to change the order though. We're going to plant, and then we're going to dream about it, and then it's going to grow. Does that make sense? Is that the way it was? I don't even know. I don't even remember. I think I cut dream first, but if I did, we're changing it. I'm going to hold that for a second, make sure it gets through the stuff. There we go. And then this one, we're going to do all things grow with love. And then I gotta find a heart. I have all of my art journal dies sitting right here, so I know that there is a heart on one of them. It's just remembering which one. Okay, that out of the way. What do I want? This. Here we go. Oh, I might actually have a heart already cut out. I look in my little pile here, because that's the point, is to try and use up all the little bits that you already have. Oh, I think I do. I was sorting through everything to find pieces to use today. I have a big pile of stuff already cut out. My foam is starting to flake off. Okay, so I don't think I have anything sitting here. These are just ones that I thought I might use. Those are leaves. Okay, so nothing there, but I have another big stuff. I don't. Let's see what I've got here. See my big stash. I feel like there was a heart. Oh, there's one. That's an old one. I don't know if I like the color of that one. I thought I had a black one in this pile. No, there's another one like that too. But we can always change the color. Maybe I can change the color. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. I'm not feeling that color. Where do we go? All things. Grow with. Love. Ooh, like that. Okay, so I just need to decide what I want to do about color for that heart. Well, I could put some wax on it. I think I would have some gilding wax that would match this nicely. That would get messy. Am I straight? It's hard to be straight when you're not over top of it. Okay, so let's grab that bin again. And grab my wax. I think that's the right one. I've got two. No, that one's too bronzy. But this one should be good. It's called Firebird. Okay, now this is going to be messy. Ooh, don't get on everything. Ooh, it's so pretty. I like this one. Use it a fair bit. It goes a long way though, so you don't even notice. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I got my edges covered too, I think. I don't want the pink showing and I don't want the white showing. Because again, this is the white core cardstock. Okay, whoops. Just giving it a really good rub. Should be good. Very messy, this one. Okay, I'm going to give this a wipe because although I don't think there's any left on my fingers, I don't want it everywhere. So I'll just grab a baby wipe or two. They're stuck together. Just make sure I don't have any residue left that's going to come off. Okay, that looks good. Oh, now is it going to be too much the same? No, it's darker. There we go. Okay, stick that down. I think I should have staggered them the other way. No, it's fine if I pull that back. Don't like things going in a row. That's why I staggered those other ones. Just design wise it looks better. If things aren't so lined up, I guess. Things look better when they look random, but they're not actually random. There. Okay, I created 5 ATCs using stuff from my stash. And I was just about an hour. So, thanks for watching. Let's flip this around. If I can find the right button. There we go. Yeah, so thanks everybody for watching. I am excited about the new release that's coming out next Wednesday from David, so I'll definitely be sharing a little sneak peek of that tomorrow on my page, and then next week we're going to see some of the new creations from that set, which is really pretty cool. And I'm going to be making more ATCs because I need a lot, I think, to take with me to Banff. So maybe I'll get to see some of you there. So anyway, have a fantastic day, and I'll see everybody soon. Bye-bye.